How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today, I want to talk to you about ZOM stock. Now, this is one that I put out a poll on my YouTube page, and I actually put out a couple polls, and ZOM won every time. I asked, what stock do you want me to cover? ZOM won 30%. Then I forgot that a lot of people have been talking about TRCH, but a lot of people want to talk about ZOM instead, and then ZOM even beat Roblox. So we're talking about ZOM today. It couldn't have come at a better time because they had some big news on the day, which I want to hit on. And I want to talk about the business model in general, what I think about it, whether I bought it or I'm going to buy it or what I'm looking for. And I want to tell you too that I've been talking about CLSK for a couple months. They actually just announced that they're raising $200 million. The stock went down like 23% or so. And I said to my Patreon members I'd probably be nibbling at it if it fell down below 22. It didn't ever hit 22. It was right above it. So just wanted you guys to know that I saw that. I am not worried about it. If anything, it just puts them in a much stronger position. And right now, the revenue isn't that significant. So I'd rather have them continue to scale that much quicker. And I'm okay with them raising some cash to help them through. So I just wanted to hit on that real quick. If you guys don't mind hitting the like button, I really appreciate it. This is going to be a video that I have not done in a while. I did a video on ZOM a while ago, so I'm excited to do this. So if you guys like these kind of back and forth where I ask you guys what you want me to cover, definitely hit the like button. I appreciate that. Also, if you want to hit subscribe and you haven't done that already, definitely hit subscribe. We do daily videos. There is a link down there to WeBull in case you want some free stocks. You can get up to $1,850 worth, which is a lot of shares of ZOM if you deposit $100. I did buy a new stock today. If you guys want to know exactly what I buy when I buy it, you can check out the link down below to Patreon. I'll probably do it in the next few days here. I'll do a video on it, but we'll get over to ZOM now. So ZOM is sitting around $2.44. It actually pumped up pretty significantly before the market opened. It was in the upper twos, and a lot of people think that it's going to go back up there by the end of the day. They're thinking they're just some paper handers that are selling right now. At least that's what I'm seeing from a couple different message boards. It fell all the way to 229. Now it's back up about 6.5%. It's a $2.3 billion pharmaceutical company. So this company has the product TrueForma. They worked on it with another company, and it offers complete control over the testing process start to finish with highly sensitive and specific immunoassays, which allow vets to make clinical decisions faster and begin treating patients sooner. So this is similar to some other companies we've talked about. It's something that you can bring in-house. It's quicker. It's a little bit cheaper. You don't have to rely on other companies, which is really nice after, the pandemic. And they use this revolutionary bulk acoustic wave technology. I'll be honest, I don't really understand the technology. They have the first feline optimized TSH assay, which differentiates between hyperthyroidism and euthyroid 6 syndrome. And then they also have the on-site canine assay, which eliminates the risk of sample transport error and aids in the diagnosis of adrenal disease. In addition to those assays, they have additional assays that they're in development on. So a couple months ago, they issued this letter to shareholders that I think was really important. First of all, they talked about how they had cash and cash equivalents now in excess of 90 million. They had regained compliance with the New York Stock Exchange because I believe it was the same thing where they fell under $1. Some other companies had that too for too long. Also, they hit on the fact that they are expecting the commercial launch of TrueForma on March 30. And that leads into what we saw today, which is that ZOM announced their first commercial sale of its TrueForma platform. So we're getting this a couple weeks early. They basically have both sides of this transaction talk about how they were excited to start with TrueForma. And then they say that with 3 of the 5 initial assays available for sale, they decided to launch TrueForma a couple weeks early. Now they have the TSH, Total T4, and Cortisol arrays coming soon. Now, I think this is good to see that they were ready to get going on this, but we actually saw a little bit of a pullback. We saw it go up pre-market, and then we saw a major dip. Now the market is trading negatively a little bit today. There's a lot of red in the market, so maybe it's part of that. Maybe it's some people that are selling the news, some people that just bought getting ready for the commercialization process, because even over the last couple of weeks, we've seen it go up and up and up. If we look at when they issued that letter to shareholders, That was back in January, and we actually went up a lot since January. So I can understand why some people might be selling off, but if you believe in the long term of this company, you probably want to hold on. Now, some of the pros and cons. Some of the pros, it saves time, money. It doesn't make you rely on other companies, which is really important in today's day and age. Some of the cons are the addressable market. So something that I was reading was that they expect the total diagnostic market to reach about 2.8 billion globally by 2024, but Zomedica only is actually a small part of that market and only has a couple different diagnostic conditions. So let's say that's a $2.8 billion market years from now. How much of this market can they actually get into? How much can they penetrate? And then how much can they actually help with that? So I'm not exactly sure what that looks like. I'm not an expert on the veterinary field, but I would think that, if they only get 5 to 10% penetration, which actually is a good amount, and they only can detect a couple different diagnostic issues with these different animals, I'm not sure how big they can actually grow for the fact that they already are $2.3 billion. They've moved up a lot on the year. Even since November, they've gone up, 3,300%. Right now, I don't plan on buying this stock. I realize that there are some opportunities in front of it. They might be able to commercialize, and maybe they have 10, 20, $50 million by the end of the year in sales. But even then, it would be selling at a very high price to sales ratio. Let's say they get $50 million worth of sales, which I think would be a lot. That would still put them at a 50 price to sales ratio. So I think that they might have some reoccurring revenue after this happens, maybe some software updates, some stuff like that. But I think that this is still a very expensive company, and they still haven't commercialized yet. They've sold their first products today. So I am sitting out on this one for now. If it falls down dramatically, or if they continue to come out with more assays or something like that, maybe I'll be interested then. I just think, for a company that's gone up 3,300%, I want them to have a wide addressable market and to be able to grow a lot from where they are now and not kind of bottleneck themselves into this small total addressable market. Now, I could be wrong. I know there are a lot of people that are really bullish on this stock, so I don't want to piss anyone off. I'm just telling you guys what I see. There was a company that I bought into that has a huge addressable market that is growing very quickly, quicker than any company that I've really seen recently. And it's similar to another company I almost invested in, but then I couldn't, which I don't know. I can't really hit on that as much, but I can hit on why I bought this company in a future video. If you guys want to know what that company is, you can check out the link down below to Patreon. Otherwise, I'll do a video on it here in the next few days. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for checking out WeBull, BlockFi, and the Patreon link down below. There is also a link to the course down below where I talk about, how I built this channel. And if you guys have any questions, I probably answer them in that course. Definitely check that out. Use the code FIRST to get 25% off. Definitely check that out. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you want to see my video from yesterday, check it out here. Thanks.